All right, grab your sun tea because today we're going to dive into the weird, wild, and downright hairy world of Bigfoot superstitions. From my grandma, who swore that whistling in the woods would summon up something you don't want to meet, to warnings about leaving shiny objects laying around. Well, unless you wanted to wake up to a Bigfoot on your porch. So, whether you're a believer or you just enjoy a spooky tale from the hills, these superstitions, they just might have you locking your doors at night. Bit of a disclaimer here. These are things that my family said about Bigfoot. In different regions, there are variations, and the same phrases could also be used for various creatures, such as the hide behind, the boo hag or witch, the big black dog or devil dog, and of course, goat man, just to name a few. This is just my experience of hearing these superstitions. So let's get weird. Superstition number one: close those blinds. It's dark outside, and what's going on out there? It ain't none of your business. This refers to the belief that leaving your windows uncovered after dark, it invites in, well, more than a draft. It invites watchers, in our case, Bigfoot. They are curious about humans, especially light and movement, and leaving your blinds open invites them to stare in and learn about you, to mimic you. It's also said that, well, nighttime isn't really ours. It's for the creatures and spirits of the woods. And whatever they're doing out there, you don't need to know about because it just leads to bad things for you. So, in other words, don't be nosy. Superstition number two: don't leave that thing on the porch. You know he likes shiny stuff, and you're just going to wake up to him. This is the belief that Bigfoot's attracted to shiny things. And if you put those things around your house and your property, he might actually take a liking to them and decide to stick around. Quite literally, you could wake up to a Bigfoot on your porch. And honestly, what are you going to do? How do you get him to leave? I don't know. Superstition number three: don't you go whistling in them woods. He just might whistle back. This is in reference to hearing something mimic you. In this case, it would be a whistle. This could be used to lure you away and essentially make you lost forever. And it's a common thought that afterwards you would see a tall, shadowy figure watching you from a distance. And if you're in the woods, do you really want that? No, thank you. Superstition number four: if anything knocks, don't go looking. This would be in reference to what we commonly call wood knocks or tree knocks by a Bigfoot. Following these sounds could lead you deep in the woods where you'd be lost forever. Or even worse, it could lead you straight into Bigfoot territory. And if you really think about it, either way, it's just not a good outcome. Superstition number five, and this one is used for a lot of things in Appalachia. If you see him, no, you didn't. You might think you did, but you didn't. In other words, if you see something you can't explain and it might just lead to a bad situation for you, just leave it alone and move on quickly. Don't be nosy. No need to stick your foot in there. Nothing good is going to come from it. Just pretend like you didn't see it and move right along. Superstition number six: if Bigfoot has been spotted in an area, you never take anything from that spot. Not a rock or a twig, not even a leaf, just nothing. It'll bring you bad luck, from accidents happening to the more common hearing strange noises around your house and your entire property until the object is put back exactly where you found it. In other words, don't go stealing stuff from another person's house. Rude. Just don't do it. So, superstition number seven: if it smells like death, run away. It's a commonly held thought that the smell of rotting meat or sulfur is a sure sign that a Bigfoot is close by. And some take it a bit further, and they say that the smell isn't just because he doesn't take a bath, it's meant to actually disorientate or confuse you, which is pretty scary. So if it smells bad, go away and quickly. Superstition number 8: don't play near his house. Just don't do it. And how do you know you're close to his house? Well, things like, say, a pile of stones that don't look natural or just don't seem to fit where they are, or with how a person would construct it. Also, leaning trees or arched tree limbs that look more like a structure and not how it would happen in nature. Commonly, what we think of as a Bigfoot nest or structure. Just don't play near those things because he lives there and he's probably close. Let's face it, what good could possibly come from that? Superstition number 9. Hey, kiddo, you really need that? Really? Don't take what you don't need. In other words, don't deplete all the natural resources because other critters, and this included Bigfoot for us, needs them too. Leave some berries on the bush and don't pick all the mushrooms. And the other side of that is if you do start depleting all the natural resources, the critters are going to come to you to take them back. So, you know, this is actually one of my favorites because not only is it just common sense, it's a nice thing to do. Superstition number 10: if you hear something behind you, don't you ever go looking over your shoulder for it. It's a common belief that looking over your shoulder to see who or what is making that sound could invite things like a Bigfoot or spirits or something maybe even worse to follow you. And doing this could also mark you in a way, so they could follow you home and then they could also follow you to other places as well. And I don't know about you, but for me, hard pass. Superstition number 11: if you hear your name being called in the woods, don't answer. Let's say you're on a nice little walk in the woods and you could just swear that your name was being whispered from somewhere, and it usually seems like it's close and far all at the same time. But you look around and you don't see anyone or anything. Do not answer. It could be a Bigfoot, a spirit, a witch, a trickster trying to lure you away deeper into the woods. And honestly, that is so terrifying. So scared of that when I was a kid. Superstition number 12: put a nail in your pocket. Seriously, carry a nail absolutely everywhere. This is a really old one. The old folks always had the belief that metals, like iron, for instance, they warded off spirits, witches, and even the boogers. The big feet. So just put a nail in your pocket. Now, I know I told you these things very lightheartedly. The goal here for me isn't to scare the bejesus out of you, but to inform about traditions and customs. These ideas are taken very seriously until this very day. And you know what? I believe them. The first and only time I went on an official Bigfoot expedition or hunt, whatever you want to call it, it took our leader approximately 10 steps into the woods before he let out a super loud whistle. And let me tell you what, I about lost my stuff. You just don't go against the rules of the woods. It's what keeps you safe from the unknown and dangerous. So you just don't do it. Until next time.